This is way bigger now than I thought it was. This is officially blowing the budget massively. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. And straight off the bat, we're gonna go pick up some parts and maybe set a high-speed test in the van. Let's do it. Helps if I release the handbrake, but good start. I need a coffee. And I'm here. I think that's a world record. 8 miles in about 4 seconds. But that's my van. I think I'll call her Eleanor. Pretty original. Well. Look at this. Look at the dog, look at the CNC gear, TT on the screen, and a center. What a life. That's pretty sweet, right? I like the Brembo calipers.
Yeah, the yellow calipers on it.
Yellow calipers. That's really cool. They're not high pures, are they? No, they're not the high pure ones, are they? The newest ones. But
oh no, I don't think so. I think they're just painted calipers that's got the Owen suspension on it.
What year is this?
Brand new.
Brand new. Like 24, 25.
Yep. So 341 in the world.
Race,
68.
Racing is in my blood. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice spec. Olin's damper.
Just, I think it's the 950 Super Sport motor in these monsters now. So it's got the lightweight aluminium or Marcassini type wheels, but they're not Marcassini, but I think they are a lightweight wheel. 341. I think that represents Ayrton's 3 championship wins and 41 podiums. I think the centers were the same. I think they were the center, you know, the 916 center. Was it 916 center?
916 center, yeah.
I think they were 341 numbered as well, but I'm not 100% sure.
So where's the number on this? Oh yeah, up the top. Number 68 of 341. I don't know if you can see that right there. That's a pretty cool, I mean, I'm not a massive monster fan, but that is pretty cool. I quite like that.
It's got the center logo on the seat.
Oh yeah, madness. Cool. Cool, and it doesn't come with a back. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, that's optional.
It's aerodynamic. Yeah.
Battery at the back. That's pretty cool.
Sweet. So we're here, Motomia, one of our channel sponsors, supplier of CNC racing gear, and this is where we get pretty much all of our, let's say, better quality kit for our bikes. I think I've shown the best quality. I think I've shown you Matt's Beamer before, but we're still yet to take this out and do a road test on it. So that will be coming, but this is one hell of a ride. So pretty soon, you're gonna let me ride that, aren't you? And wheelie it.
Yeah.
Practice my wheelies.
Yeah. Can I burn your clutch out?
You can burn my clutch. It's already dead. So what do we got?
Oh, you've got your kill switch button and your link, suspension link. You've already got your throttle tube, but in case you haven't filmed that,
no, already got
you
one.
had one of them too.
So we picked up a throttle tube. So CNC Racing, because the throttle tube on mine was just broken in half. This will replace the ignition. So we got the ignition set, the 2 keys, and the transponder. So this will work in with those. But this is something we've never done on a bike before. Should I explain it or should you?
Oh, I don't know what you're doing with it, mate. Does it go up the top or does it go down the bottom?
Someone else asked me this last night. Where does that go? So this is a ride height adjustable rear linkage. Now on a Pani, have you got a Pani in here?
No.
On a Pani it goes just here, sort of in between the back shock mount and the swing arm. And we're gonna put it out to factory OEM spec length. But basically all you do is adjust this knob in the middle and you can adjust the ride height. So I don't know if that's something I'll actually use, but
I think that's the same. That's a Brox one on there. I think that's an adjustable suspension link. I don't know, I need to get the suspension set on this thing.
So yeah, big things. We're gonna head back to the garage now and start trying to install some stuff. But did you see this? 93 for the win for all the haters out there. Another title. I think you're a hater. You're a hater.
Rossi. Rossi all the
Yeah,
way.
but Rossi's gone now, mate. He's retired. So
Go, George.
George. Jorge.
I thought you were George. You were George all the way last year.
I am still George all the way.
Turncoat.
He's just... Anyway, we'll get back to it. We'll see you in the garage. Before we get into it, huge announcements. We've got parts ordered. We've got our exhaust ordered. We've got our suspension ordered. We've got our wheels ordered. Heaps of big items. Actually, the 3 biggest ticket items on this build are all ordered and all coming in. I'm not going to show you exactly what they are just yet because I want that to be a surprise when they arrive. But today we're going to get into probably, we might start with the electrics. We're going to get that kill switch on, try and get a mock-up of the switchgear done as well, and see if we can't install some more parts. Let's do it. So this is everything here we've got to get done. We've got our kill switch, so that's the CNT Racing kill switch. We get a new throttle tube because this throttle tube here is just destroyed. We've got a replacement throttle. Now this actually came off one of my old V4s, but I'm pretty sure it'll still fit. We've got all of the switchgear, the OEM switchgear. We've got to strip all of this down. And then hopefully if the bars are straight, we've got new grips. We've got the ignition all set up. We should be able to mock all of this up on the bike. And what I think I'll do is I'll grab these inserts here and I'll put them through the forks on the front. And we should be able to get a feel for how this cockpit's gonna start to actually look. We haven't got the front stay here yet. That's on order as well with Ducati, but that should be arriving relatively soon. Probably not for this video though, but at least we should get a feel for how everything, all the controls actually fit onto this bike. First thing we've got to do though is get rid of this. And this has got those bloody annoying bolts. You can see I've got one of them out. I've been trying to get the other one out, no luck. I'm probably going to grind that off and drill it out. Maybe use some vice clamps to try and get that out. I'll get rid of this and then we can crack on. So I didn't film it, but I just took this off as well and cleaned underneath it because it was full of metal shavings. So nice and clean now. Everything's Loctited. Screw it back in. Another small job done. So pretty easy. Now I've just got to join the key with the little transponder fob to the actual ignition immobilizer using the 4 bolt holes on the back. Super, super easy. Even tells you which way the key should go on the back of that image just there. And that is a mock-up done. So these are not the original, the actual bolts I'm gonna use for this. I'm gonna probably space this up a little bit so it sits better in the fairing. But that is the ignition, hopefully hot wired. So as you said, back in the first episode, I bought this extra set of keys and immobilizer off another bike. My theory is that it's just going to work. However, we're not sure if the dash has any display. So fingers crossed, no coding required. It should be an easy job. Massive fingers crossed, because if it doesn't work, it's gonna be expensive. So next up, I've got to strip these bars down. I've got everything still attached. I've got bar ends, which are gonna be a pain to get off. But fingers crossed, doesn't make my life a misery. Oh, I knew these would be on tight. And I've got no leverage to hold them against anything. think I might need a vise. Definitely pays to have the right tools. Okay, so let's strip this down. These are super heavy. So I think these will sell maybe for $30 on eBay. Maybe we can sell this switchgear for about $100, even though it's broken. Someone might buy it for parts. I'm dubious as to whether or not this one's straight. I think this bar is bent, or maybe the other one. I think I've got one good bar out of the two, but I'll put them up against a straight line and see what I get. So. So it's not good. This, you can hardly tell, but there's like a little 1 millimeter gap at the top, just there. So that is not straight. So the clutch side is gone. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this side is gone as well. So the throttle side, I'm just gonna take this broken outer casing off because I've done about 5 Panigales or 4 Panigales, and I've got so many of these left over, the casings, which I can replace this side. It's got some spider webs in there. Just not sure if we've got any broken wires. Definitely got some broken throttle tubes sitting in there. Bad news, very bad news. The throttle is actually broken. So if you can see, but there's supposed to be a tab just there. That is the aforementioned tab. It's supposed to sit like that and give you a locking position for the throttle tube. That means I've got to order a new throttle, and throttles are not cheap. Not good. So 2 new bars, because this one is also buggered. 1 new throttle, and I have to go new. I can't go secondhand with the throttle. I'm at least another $700 in the hole. Every dollar extra I have to spend is weeks more that I have to wait because I just don't have the money without selling stuff on eBay to try and recoup those funds to build this bike. It has to be done on a budget. So, bummer, major bummer. So things don't always go to plan on these builds. Matter of fact, 50% of the time, things don't go to plan. But we can move on to something else because luckily yesterday, something very cool arrived from HEL Brake Lines and motorspares.com.au. We got a non-ABS race kit of lines, and these ones are actually like a carbon fiber look line. They look really, really sweet. They come with block off plugs as well for the ABS unit. So that was very, very cool. And we're gonna put those on. So we're gonna basically strip the old brake lines off the bike, try and keep them all intact so I don't have to cut them off, because I can probably sell them on eBay for about $150 as a complete brake line ABS kit. Obviously the ABS motor stays on the bike. We can't get rid of that because I don't know why, but no one, like Jet Prime or anything, has built an ABS delete plug for this bike to work with the ECU. I just don't know why they haven't done that. So yeah, let's get this these brake lines stripped off, and at the same time, I think what I'll do is I'm going to give these calipers a clean up. So these are the calipers we bought to replace the ones which weren't even with the bike. They're perfect fit for the Panigales, and these are the more modern, stronger calipers. I can't remember the name of them. They could be Style Lemons, I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, they are a level up from the base model ones that you'd normally see on a V2 Pani. Enough talking, let's do it. So my front brake line, just here, goes all the way down to my ABS, down there. That's my ABS module, just there. So I want to unplug that one. So I think that's the red one. So I'm going to undo that. I think it's a number 12 spanner. And then that pushes the line all the way here, the ABS line down to the front wheel. So these two lines just here, have a screw just behind there. So I take that screw out, that'll loosen that little bracket. And then I should be able to take both of these off, put the two block off plugs in its place, which are two 10mm 1mm thread block off plugs. Go right there, and then repeat the same process for the rear. So I've got the two lines coming all the way back. This line carries all the way forwards, and then it sends another line all the way back. Follow the swing arm all the way to the rear caliper. Oh no, 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 no. The frame's gone. Fuck. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Have a look at this. This is a massive crack. How did I not even see that before? The frame has a crack like 4 centimeters in the side of the frame here. Damn it. Damn it. It's another at least $1,500. I'm gonna have to find another frame that's straight. It doesn't have to be a clear title, but very, very hard to find one in Australia. I'm probably gonna have to wait weeks to get it here, which means 2 things. It means I'm gonna have to build up the bike with everything I've got as a mock-up to try and make it look like it's complete. And then when the new frame gets here, I'm gonna have to do a full strip of everything top and front to take it all apart again, including, it shouldn't be too hard to get the frame off, but what a bummer. This is the first out of 12 bikes that I've built where I've actually had to replace the frame. And I can't believe it's taken me this long to actually notice it. I'll show you, it's bad. Look at that, completely cracked. And it almost looks as though something's come back and hit it. So I don't know what it is, but that is bad. So major, major drama. I'm gonna need a minute to sort of recoup and think about what I'm doing now. That's a big one. I think I'm gonna need to take a minute and just ingest this, because this is way bigger now than I thought it was. This is officially blowing the budget massively. Huge, huge blowout on the budget. We don't have the money to fix that. It's gonna take time. I'm gonna have to wait for some more income to come in from selling parts, and just fingers crossed we can start trying to source something. And yeah, we'll keep you posted, I guess. Look, let's continue on. I don't know if you can see how annoyed I am, but let's continue on with these brake lines. They're gonna be pretty easy to get off, and I will jump online later and see what I can do to figure this out.
The person you are calling is...
Okay, I'm trying to call the frame straighteners to see if there's a way in which they can fix it. I've sent them some photos. Fingers crossed they get back to us shortly. There we go, look at that. One new HEL brake line, new fittings on the end.
carbon look the whole way back. Nice and neat and tidy. Just needs a couple of zip ties just here. And then as soon as we get the front set up, we'll be able to do the front lines as well. 4 brake lines, ABS, ready to go for sale, 150 bucks eBay.
So just back to this frame for a second. It makes me wish I'd taken these plastic covers off sooner and I would have found that damage and I would have put some of that money into a frame instead of all the bling parts that I bought. But I guess that means it's just gonna take longer to build. I did, however, jump on eBay on my phone just quickly, and I found one for sale in France for $1,000. Super cheap, but if you look closer, $2,000 postage. What the? I mean, come on. There's a few for sale for around $2,000 with only $200 postage from the United States. Maybe I can get them cheaper and bargain them down a little bit. Who knows? We'll wait till the frame doctor gets back to us and see whether or not this can be fixed. We're gonna move on to something else. I'm gonna move on to that rear shock stay and see if we can get that in and at least get a good feeling about this build. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this up until the shock is fully extended and then tie it down on both sides with more of these ratchet ties. And then once that's fully extended, I should be able to take that bolt out, and replace that section. However, first problem is I don't have the tool to get in to take out that bolt. So I'm off to the hardware store, another tool, and we'll be in. Okay, I've got it out. It went that way. That's the bottom, remember that. I'm not sure if that matters. Okay, so now what I want to do is measure eye to eye and make sure it's exactly the same. So the piece in the middle, all you got to do is twist it that way and you get perfect length alignment. So I'm just going to go until it's spot on, which is there. And to check that it's perfect, I should be able to run the bolt straight through. There we go. And then tighten that up. Not bad. Now I've just got to torque down that one and heaps cooler. So you're just going to make sure you keep these tight and that stops the locking mechanism from moving. And yeah, super simple. If you just want to adjust the height, you just loosen these two, adjust that forward or back, drops the back up or down. Another job done. So I've got a little bit of good news. I just got off the phone with the frame doctor and he thinks we can fix it. He thinks around about $1,000. So at least $1,000 cheaper than buying another frame. So it's gonna be about 3 or 4 weeks, but once we've got this bike together, he needs the forks on, he needs the wheels on, he needs it as a roller. So I can take it down there, put it in, he's got this huge big jig, put it in the jig, and then bash out this edge, and then re-weld it, make sure the frame is straight with the wheels, make sure the alignment's good, and we're done. So we're gonna end up having to take all this off again, but I'm not gonna film that part when I strip it down to take it to the frame guy. But we can at least get it all actually fitted and make sure everything fits the way it should, which means we're gonna have more of a complete front end, hopefully in about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not gonna worry about this. This is that little rubber seal which goes around the front of the fan. Don't really need it, waste of time. that can stay off. Just want to give everything a good clean on the front of the engine because I'm not going to be able to get to it again until I get this stripped down. Okay, I think that's pretty well good. Radiator.
Colors remind me of those colors remind me of you. It feels like we're walking up
The final thing for today, let's get a feel for how these fork tubes look. I just need that sense of feeling like I'm getting something completed. How good's that? Now, once I drop this top triple down about 8 millimeters, how beautiful is that? Finally, some progress. We've got radiators, we got just a mock-up done. We've got a fair bit done. Wow, that was a challenging week of progress on this bike. We got a few small wins. We got the brake lines done, we got the radiators back on, we got that rear shock linkage done, and a few other bits and pieces. We got a full service of the bike done as well, oil filter, etc. But some massive losses. So we're gonna have to recoup, take a look at our budget and see where that sits us. But this week we should have some huge parts arriving. So we'll step those through in the next few episodes. Thanks for watching. If you like this type of thing, hit the subscribe, hit the like, you know the drill. See you soon.